Hey there guys, this is your video 3. We're going to be talking about solving systems of inequalities by graphing. Okay, so now we're going to take our systems, but we're making them inequalities now, and we're going to graph them to solve them. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look back, or we're going to think back to how we did graphing inequalities in chapter 2. And we're going to do two separate graphs, okay? So we're going to graph this line first, and then we're going to graph this line second. And then wherever they overlap is your solution. So, for example, my slope of this first line is -2/1. My y-intercept is 5. So I'm going to go to my graph, and I'm going to put a dot at 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My slope is -2/1, so down 2, right 1. This is a solid line. So we learned about that back in chapter 2. And we're going to talk about our shading. So if I plug in 0, 0, which is right here. So if I plug in 0, I get 0 is less than or equal to -2 times 0 plus 5. So 0 is less than or equal to 5, which is true. So I'm going to shade where 0, 0 is. Okay, so far that is nothing different than what you guys saw back on the last video of chapter 2. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit different now though. So now I'm going to look at my second equation, or my second inequality. My slope is -1/4. My y-intercept is -6. So I'm going to go down to -6. So I'm on the same exact graph. You're always going to be on the same graph. My slope is -1, so down 1, right 4. All right, this time I have a dashed line because there's not the line underneath it. It's not equal to. So here I'm going to have myself a dashed line going on. And I'm going to plug in 0, 0 again because it's not on the line. So now I have 0 is greater than -1/4 times 0 minus 6. So 0 is greater than -6, which is true again. So now I'm going to shade where 0, 0 is. All right, and now we can actually see where the double overlapping took place. Okay, so the overlapped shading took place right in here. Meaning that anything that's in that dark shaded area that I just did are my solutions. So anything in darkened or double shaded is solutions. So list two solutions. So I could list 0, 0 is actually a solution to both of them. And I could say this dot right here. So 1, 0 is a solution to both of them. Okay, so anything in this double shaded area would be solutions to both of them. All right, let's look at another one. Okay, so here I'm going to graph my first line. So my slope is 1/1 because there's a 1 in front of there. My y-intercept is 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to use red here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go up 1, right 1. This is a solid line again. And I can use 0, 0 again this time. So I have 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 5. This is false this time. So I'm going to shade above the line. All right, my next one, my y-intercept is 1/1. Or my slope is 1/1. My y-intercept is -4. So I'm going to use blue for this next one. So at -4 and 1/1 again. And this time I have a dashed line. And if I plug in 0, 0, it's not on the line, so I could say 0 is less than 0 minus 4. 0 is less than negative 4. That is false again, so I'm not going to shade 0, 0. So I'm going to shade on this side. Okay, so if you notice, this time there are no overlapping of any of the shading. Okay, so we would say no solutions for this. No double overlapping. All right, and let's look at the last one here. All right, so my last one, I've got 3 equations this time, but it's going to work very similar. Okay, so my first one is just y is less than or equal to 3. So this is a slope of 0 with a b of 3. So I'm going to go up to 3, and that means that I have a solid horizontal line. Okay. My shading, though, if I plug in 0, 0, I can still do that. Y becomes 0, and I have 0 is less than or equal to 3. That is true, so I'm going to shade below. All right, my next one, I have a slope of 2 over 1 with a y-intercept of negative 1. So I'm going to go down to 1 and up to right 1. And this time I have a dashed line. I'm going to plug in 0, 0 because it's not on the line. It's close, but it's not on there. So I've got 0 is greater than or equal to 2 times 0 minus 1. So 0 is greater than negative 1, which is true. So I'm going to shade above because 0, 0 is above. So far, without graphing my third line, this right here is my double shaded area. Okay, so this right here would be my solutions if I stopped right now. My third one, my slope is negative 3 over 1. My y-intercept is negative 6. So I'm going to start at negative 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go down 3. Right 1. This is a solid line as well. And I can plug in 0, 0 again. So I've got 0 is greater than or equal to negative 3 times 0 minus 6. So I end up with this 0 is greater than or equal to negative 6, which is true. So I want to shade where 0, 0 is, which is, here's my line. It would be this side of the line. So my triple shaded area ends up to be this triangle right here. So if I want to list 2 solutions, I could say 0, 0 is one of my solutions, my triple solutions. And I could say something like negative 2, 0 is a triple solution. All right, and that is solving inequalities by graphing. We will see you next time.